UFC is supposed to be the highest level of martial arts. Years of training, discipline, respect. But every once in a while, a fight happens where all that goes out the window, and it stops looking like a sport and starts looking like something you'd see outside a nightclub at 2 in the morning. Today we're breaking down 5 times the UFC turned into a straight-up street fight. Number 5, Jon Jones versus Matt Hamill, 2009.
There's no belt, there's Matt Hamill. Matt Hamill is the belt.
Back then, Jon wasn't the greatest of all time. He was just a young monster running through everyone. Against Hamill, he was untouchable. Spinning back elbows, takedowns so clean they looked rehearsed. Hamill had no answers. But here's where it gets messy. Jon decides to throw what's called a 12-to-6 elbow, straight up to straight down like the hands on a clock at noon. Why is it illegal? Because the rule makers thought it was too dangerous. You can elbow sideways, diagonal, basically any direction you want. Just not straight down. Don't ask me why. It's like saying you can drive 90 miles an hour as long as you're swerving a little. Anyway, Jones lands a couple of these on Hamill's face, and the ref steps in to stop it. Not because Hamill's winning, but because Jon broke a rule nobody even remembers exists. They call it a disqualification. That's right. Jon Jones' only loss is basically because he was too violent in a violent sport. The fight didn't look like martial arts at all. It looked like Jon caught Hamill talking to his girlfriend and decided to handle it personally. Or maybe Jon thought Hamill was his wife. Either way, those elbows came down like overdue rent. Number 4, Khabib Nurmagomedov versus Conor McGregor, UFC 229. This was not just a fight. This was war. Conor insulted Khabib's family, his religion, even his country.
I'm here for smash this guy. I don't want to
me,
talk.
mate. Smash me. Smash me.
I can smash
you say send location. Here it is, right here in front of you.
Every press conference felt like a political rally with fists. By fight night, Khabib didn't look nervous. He looked like a man about to do yard work, and Conor was the weeds. Bell rings and Khabib just mauls him. Round after round, it's relentless wrestling, smashing punches, zero room to breathe. In the 4th round, Khabib takes Conor's back and makes him tap. The toughest talker in the UFC tapping like he's searching for the snooze button. But Khabib wasn't finished. He climbs the cage, takes flight, and dives straight into Conor's team, like he's stage diving at a metal concert. Inside the cage, Conor's fighting Khabib's guys. Outside the cage, Khabib's fighting Conor's guys. Dana White's face said it all. This is not in the script. This wasn't UFC 229, this was UFC, public disturbance. Even Joe Rogan stopped sounding like a commentator and more like a neighbor yelling, "Break it up before someone calls the cops." Number 3, Yoel Romero versus Chris Weidman, UFC 205. First UFC event ever in New York City. Madison Square Garden, Weidman's the hometown hero. The crowd is electric, chanting his name like he's Rocky Balboa. And then Yoel Romero walks out. If you don't know Yoel, imagine a Marvel superhero that speaks Spanish and doesn't believe in aging. First 2 rounds are close, but then round 3, Yoel times a perfect flying knee right to Weidman's face. Drops him instantly. Fight over.
Flying knee. He knocks him out.
And then, as if nothing happened, Yoel casually celebrates with a backflip. Because nothing says street fight like knocking a man cold and then doing gymnastics over his unconscious body. This didn't feel like martial arts. It felt like someone yelled, "Fight!" in the cafeteria, and Yoel just started doing demolition work. Number 2, Robbie Lawler versus Rory MacDonald 2, UFC 189. If you've never seen this fight, you're missing one of the greatest wars in UFC history. For 4 rounds, these 2 men traded shots that would have dropped anyone else. Kicks, punches, elbows, neither man backing down. By the end of round 4, both of them are standing there covered in damage, glaring at each other in that legendary stare down. It didn't feel like a sports moment. It felt like 2 guys in a parking lot arguing over who keyed whose car. When round 5 starts, Robbie lands a bomb that finally breaks Rory's nose and his will. Rory collapses. The fight's over. This wasn't some fancy display of technique. This was pure willpower. 2 men refusing to quit until somebody literally couldn't stand. If Bruce Buffer had yelled, "Finish him," nobody would have questioned it. And number 1, Anthony Smith versus Glover Teixeira 2020. No crowd, no noise, just 2 men locked in a cage where you can hear every punch, every breath, every word. Smith starts strong, but Glover takes control and it gets ugly fast. Round after round, Smith refuses to quit, even as Glover keeps landing heavy shots. Mid-fight, Smith goes back to his corner and says, "My teeth are falling out." Not figuratively, his actual teeth. And yet the fight keeps going. The craziest part? Glover's apologizing while hitting him. "Sorry, Anthony. You know I gotta do this," he says, slipping in punches between sentences. When your opponent sounds like he's breaking bad news instead of breaking your face, that's not martial arts. That's a street fight where even the other guy feels like he should have brought flowers afterward. So, there you have it. 5 times the UFC threw discipline out the window and turned into a raw, chaotic brawl. John Jones dropping forbidden elbows. Khabib smashing Conor and then leaping into the crowd. Yoel Romero flying through the air like a missile. Robbie and Rory refusing to quit. And Anthony Smith proving just how much punishment one man can take. Which one's the wildest? Drop your pick in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, because in the UFC, even the most technical fight can turn into a back alley showdown. Only difference is, instead of someone filming on a shaky phone, you've got Dana White in the background, trying to explain it to ESPN with a straight face.